If you're over 60 and managing type 2 diabetes, there's something in your fridge right now that might be working against you. It's not sugar. It's not soda. It's processed meat. Yes, those deli slices, bacon strips, and sausages you've trusted for years could be quietly sabotaging your blood sugar control, damaging your heart, and even worsening insulin resistance without you even realizing it. Welcome to Healthy Aging with Nutrition. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 processed meats seniors with diabetes must avoid at all costs, and I'll explain why they're far more dangerous than you think. Plus, I'll show you simple, affordable, and tasty alternatives to support your diabetes management, promote healthy aging, and help you lower blood sugar naturally. Please give this video a like, and subscribe to Healthy Aging with Nutrition. I promise to share only the best science-backed tips to support your journey with diabetes, senior health, and good nutrition. It's salty, smoky, and shows up on breakfast plates all over America, but is it secretly wrecking your blood sugar? Processed meat number 1, bacon. Let's talk about bacon, a crispy favorite that's hard to resist. For many seniors, it's a comfort food, part of cherished morning routines. But if you have type 1 or type 2 diabetes, bacon might be one of the worst offenders when it comes to your health. Bacon is a processed meat loaded with saturated fats, sodium, and harmful preservatives like nitrates and nitrites. According to the American Heart Association, these substances not only raise blood pressure but also increase inflammation and insulin resistance, key contributors to poor blood sugar control and diabetes complications. A study published in the journal Diabetes Care found that individuals who ate just 2 servings of processed meat per week had a 19% increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who ate none. Bacon's high saturated fat content can also worsen cholesterol levels, a major concern for older adults managing diabetes and heart health. And let's not forget sodium. Just 2 slices of bacon can contain over 400 milligrams of sodium. That's nearly 1/4 of the recommended daily limit for seniors. Too much sodium can elevate your blood pressure, strain your kidneys, and increase your risk of stroke, all serious concerns for people with diabetes. Have you tried cutting back on bacon or switching to an alternative? What worked for you? We all want convenience, especially as we age. And what's more convenient than a quick ham or turkey sandwich? But here's the problem: your lean lunch meat may be hiding more danger than a candy bar. Processed meat number 2, deli meats, ham, turkey, cold cuts. Many people think deli meats like turkey, ham, or roast beef are healthier choices. After all, they're low in sugar and don't seem greasy. But for seniors with type 2 diabetes, these processed meats can be a serious trap. According to Harvard Health, deli meats are often packed with sodium, nitrates, phosphates, and preservatives that can silently worsen insulin resistance and strain kidney function, especially in older adults with diabetes. A 2020 study in the BMJ found that every additional 50 grams per day of processed meat, about 2 slices of deli meat, was associated with a 46% increased risk of developing heart disease, and a 19% higher risk of diabetes. My neighbor's husband, Tom, was 72 and loved his lunchtime turkey sandwich every single day for nearly a decade. He thought it was a safe, low-fat meal. But when his A1C suddenly spiked, his doctor traced it back to sodium overload and hidden preservatives. Tom had no idea that his healthy deli meat had been interfering with his blood sugar all along. It wasn't until he switched to freshly roasted chicken breast at home that his levels stabilized again. That sandwich? It might contain over 800 milligrams of sodium from the deli meat alone. Add the bread, maybe cheese, and you've got a salt bomb that spikes blood pressure and damages blood vessels. And don't be fooled by labels like low fat or natural. Unless the meat is uncured and freshly sliced without preservatives, it still falls into the processed meat category and poses the same risks. So before you reach for that convenient cold cut, ask yourself, is it worth risking your heart and blood sugar? If this surprised you, keep watching, because the next meat might be hiding in your holiday favorites and it's even worse. Processed meat number 3, glazed or smoked ham. It's juicy, festive, and the centerpiece of many holiday dinners. But glazed or smoked ham may be doing far more harm to your blood sugar than that slice of pie you're avoiding. Let's break down why glazed or smoked ham is a hidden danger for seniors with diabetes. First, the sugar glaze, made with honey, brown sugar, or high fructose corn syrup, can send your blood sugar skyrocketing. Combine that with the salt curing and smoking process, and you've got a perfect storm: sugar, sodium, and preservatives, all in one slice. According to the Mayo Clinic, smoked and cured meats contain nitrites and nitrates, which may contribute to the hardening of blood vessels, a condition already worsened by type 2 diabetes. And for seniors, the risks are compounded. Over time, high sodium intake can lead to fluid retention, elevated blood pressure, and even kidney strain, all red flags for people trying to manage diabetes. One small serving of glazed ham, just 3 ounces, can contain up to 900 milligrams of sodium and 12 grams of sugar. That's nearly half your daily salt limit and a full carb serving, just from the meat alone. Sarah, a 68-year-old retired teacher who shared her story in a local diabetes support group. She used to treat herself to glazed ham leftovers for days after every holiday. But after noticing her fasting glucose creeping up each January, her doctor suggested tracking hidden sugars. The culprit? That festive ham. Once she swapped it for roasted turkey without glaze, her numbers normalized, and so did her energy. Coming up, I'll uncover a spicy favorite that might shock you with how badly it affects your blood vessels and insulin function, even if it's labeled all natural. Processed meat number 4, sausages and hot dogs. They're smoky, spicy, and full of flavor, but if you're managing diabetes, sausages and hot dogs could be silently inflaming your blood vessels every time you take a bite. For many older adults, sausages and hot dogs are familiar comfort foods. They're affordable, filling, and easy to cook. But here's the harsh truth: most are a nutritional nightmare for anyone concerned with blood sugar control, heart health, or insulin resistance. According to the National Institute on Aging, processed meats like sausages and hot dogs are among the top contributors to arterial inflammation in older adults, especially those with type 1 or type 2 diabetes. That inflammation increases the risk of atherosclerosis, a dangerous narrowing of the arteries that can lead to stroke or heart attack. A standard sausage may contain up to 1,000 milligrams of sodium and 18 grams of fat, mostly saturated fat. Even so-called natural or organic versions often include sodium nitrite, which has been linked to increased risk of pancreatic cancer in people who consume processed meat frequently. Journal of the American Geriatric Society, 2018. And don't forget the additives: monosodium glutamate, MSG, fillers, artificial flavors. These are commonly found in mass-produced hot dogs and can disrupt gut health and lead to post-meal glucose spikes. When these meats become regular in your diet, the cumulative effect is chronic: higher insulin resistance, weaker blood vessels, and a digestive system constantly overloaded with toxins. Every small change matters. If you've found a healthier way to enjoy sausages or hot dogs, share it below. Your tip might be the one someone else really needs today. And don't go anywhere, because the final reveal is the worst processed meat of all, one that looks harmless, even diet-friendly, but wreaks havoc on blood sugar and insulin every single day. Processed meat number 5, beef jerky and meat snacks. At first glance, beef jerky and meat snacks seem like a smart choice for people with diabetes, low in carbs, high in protein, and easy to pack. But the truth behind the label tells a very different story. Many older adults turn to beef jerky as a convenient, high-protein snack. And while it may sound better than sugary pastries or chips, most jerky products are heavily processed, and they come with hidden risks for those managing type 2 diabetes or insulin sensitivity. Start with the sugar. Yes, sugar. Some popular jerky brands add brown sugar, corn syrup, or dextrose during the curing process. A single serving can pack 6 to 8 grams of added sugar, about the same as a small cookie. That's a big hit for a food marketed as diabetes-friendly. Then there's the sodium content. Most store-bought jerky contains 700 to 900 milligrams of sodium per serving, putting pressure on your blood vessels, kidneys, and heart. The Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health warns that long-term intake of nitrates and nitrites, common in meat snacks, may increase colon cancer risk, especially in people with diabetes. And artificial additives don't help either. Even zero-sugar versions may contain chemical preservatives and artificial sweeteners, which can alter gut microbiome balance and potentially affect blood sugar control. A 2021 study in the journal Nutrients highlighted that older adults consuming high levels of processed meat snacks showed stronger markers of insulin resistance, regardless of carbohydrate intake. Your best bet? Choose low-sodium, nitrate-free jerky with no added sugar, or make your own at home from lean beef or turkey using a dehydrator and simple spices. And now that we've uncovered the top 5 worst offenders, in the final section I'll walk you through the smart swaps that can support better blood sugar, heart health, and longevity without sacrificing taste. Let's quickly recap the 5 processed meats seniors with type 1 or type 2 diabetes should avoid at all costs. 1. Bacon, high in saturated fat and sodium, increasing inflammation and blood sugar problems. 2. Deli meats, often packed with salt, nitrates, and hidden sugars that strain your heart and kidneys. 3. Glazed or smoked ham, deceptively sweet and salty, this holiday favorite raises glucose and blood pressure fast. 4. Sausages and hot dogs, full of additives, nitrites, and saturated fat that weaken blood vessels and spike insulin resistance. 5. Beef jerky and meat snacks, marketed as healthy, but often loaded with sodium, sugar, and chemical preservatives. The good news? You don't need to give up flavor or satisfaction to stay healthy. Here are some smart alternatives you can start enjoying today. Roast your own lean meats at home. Think skinless chicken breast, turkey tenderloin, or sirloin tip roast. Slice and store in portions. Try plant-based proteins like lentil patties, tofu slices, or bean-based deli-style cuts with no added sodium. Look for labels that say, no nitrates, low sodium, and no added sugar. If the ingredient list looks like a science project, it's time to skip it. Use herbs and spices for flavor instead of relying on smoke, salt, or sugar. As the National Institute on Aging reminds us, it's never too late to make small changes that support blood sugar control, heart health, and healthy aging, especially when it comes to your plate. Which of these meats surprised you the most? Have you already made some swaps in your diet? I'd love to hear what's worked for you. Let's support each other in the comments. If you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share it with a loved one who's also managing diabetes. You could be the reason someone makes a life-changing switch today. Thanks for watching, and remember, small changes today lead to big improvements tomorrow.